Welcome to Lesson 1, Dividing a Whole Number by a Fraction. We're going to be using visual models. Our goal is to use the visual models such as fraction bars, number lines, and area models to show the quotient of whole numbers and fractions. We will use the models to show the connection between those models and the multiplication of fractions. And lastly, divide a fraction by a whole number. So let's first remind ourselves about a fraction. A fraction is a part of a whole. If I have 1/2, I could show a model of this by having one whole, cutting it into two, and one of the two would equal my fraction 1/2. This model represents 1/2 of my whole. So we're going to look at an example. I would really like you to use these fraction bars, is what they're called. They are boxes, not circles. Our example 1 says, Maria has 3/4 of a pound of trail mix. She needs to share it equally among 6 friends. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what the question is asking us. We have 3/4 of a pound. We need to share it equally among 6 friends. So when we share something, the operation, we could choose from adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. If you're sharing something, then you would be dividing. So we're dividing what we have, 3/4 by 6. Okay? There's a couple different ways that we could represent this as models. The first one is going to be our number line. So what I'm going to do is create a number line by showing this is 1/4, then we have 2/4, and then we have 3/4, and then we have 4/4, which is equal to 1 whole. Now, here's our 3/4. So this place to this place, that's how much we have. So if we have to divide it by 6, well, this is only 3 sections. So what I need to do is divide each of those sections in half. So that means there's 1 share, 2 shares, 3 shares, 4, 5, and here's my 6th share. So each person will get half of a 4th. And so if I have less than 1/4, if I have half of that, that is going to be 1/8. So each person will get 1/8 of a share. Now the other way to do it is with a fraction bar. And so what we would do is we would figure out that we would still have, again, 1/4 here. We do it in a different color. So 1 whole is what we have. The shaded area is the 3/4. That's what we have to share among 6 people. So since there are only 3 boxes, what I need to do is cut them in half. This is how many people are sharing. So since we are only shaded up to the 3/4, there are 6 people that can share. And so this means that this is 1/8 of a pound. So 1/8 of a pound is how much we have to share. This is an example of partitive division. We can tell because we were given the original amount of trail mix and how many parts of trail mix to make. We needed to determine the size of each part, where the size of each part is less than the original amount. Example 2. Let's look at a slightly different example. Imagine you have 2/5 of a cup of frosting that you need to share equally between 3 desserts. So what we have, it says, how can we write this as a division question? Well, we have 2/5. and we need to share it equally amongst 3 desserts. The 2/5 is going to be divided by 3. So down here you see a visual. This is a fraction bar. We have 2 out of 5 representing the 2/5 that we have. If we're going to divide it by 3, I can do this. And you can now see that I divided my 2/5 into thirds. So 1/3 of the 2/5 is going to be this up here. This is one of the 3 out of my shape that I have, the 2/5 cup of frosting. So what I would do is count how many total boxes I have, and I would have 2 of them out of 15. You can do a shortcut, and if there's 5 in a row and there's 3 columns, or excuse me, 5 columns and 3 rows, then you would have 15. So my answer would be 2/15. Again, here's my 2, which is 1/3 of the 2/5 that I started with. The 2 being here, and 3, 4, 5, the whole thing is the fifths. So again, the answer is 2/15.